Wait, please. We had started to run up. The entire regiment had been moving for at least hours, days, weeks. It all just sort of blended together, marching for endless time until eventually the force march finally came to an end as we looked ahead. And despite that, Mata kept moving. She just found her way to the stream, and with a solid leap, she jumped her way across, pulling herself onto the other side of the stream and doing a little pirouette spin as she stopped, turned around, and called out to us, "Hanze, Bluebear, come on!" We kept going. Honestly, I'd started to breathe a bit heavy. I was used to a lot of physical labor and manual movement, so I was able to keep up with the soldiers, but their legs were longer, and in a steady march, I just started feeling myself just pull with every step. It seemed Hanze submitted himself to just walking directly through the stream. As he pulled his way through, sludging the water through his dirty clothes, he walked through, and I just had to sort of pad my way up to my shoulders across the river. At this point, though, as she made her way across, she finally did take a seat on the moss-covered rock as we both pulled ourselves out of the water. I'm tired. Are we breaking now, please?
Yeah, we'll take a break now, Bluebear. We just wanted to pull ourselves away for a second. After all, we gotta talk a bit quietly. 'Cause, we're gonna go ahead with the plan soon, yeah?
The plan, yeah. I think we're getting closer. I checked around. This was starting to get a little familiar. Some of the streams that were bubbling around here definitely did originate from around the mountain, falling down from the snow on the top that seemed to melt down from the highest peaks during the winter. As we checked around, I noticed the stream had gotten a little quiet. It probably was, by this point, at least maybe a day more travel to the mountain. But everyone had come to a stop, because soon we weren't going to have any suns in the sky. Hanze spoke next.
Did we, if we're gonna go through with this, do you think we're gonna have to march through one of the night spots?
Oh, I think so, yeah. Night spot march is gonna be necessary for getting to the mountain. But if we can make our way through, then, my two friends, I think we'll find ourselves there early. Maybe at least a couple hours, maybe a day early. Oh. Well, I think I'll be fine, but are you two comfortable going through a night march? I've been through 1 or 2 night marches before.
Oh, well, I can't say I have, but at the very least, if I can, just trail behind, I think I can manage it. If you'll both lead me kindly.
Don't worry. Bluebear should be able to see in the dark, right? Something Galoins can do. Yeah, to a degree. Well, if you're both willing to let me lead for a bit, then I could maybe just pull myself forward.
All right, Bluebear.
Well, seems we got a couple minutes before the night settles in, so till then, I see her stop. She reached out, pulled out a little sack that was kind of nudged between her sash and dress combo and sort of nestled between that and the plate armor. She pulled it out and put it down to the ground. I was maybe expecting some kind of weapon or tool of some type, but instead it seemed to be food. She pulled it out and sort of offered a bit to both of us as we looked across. Oh, what's this? Chikanda, take a bite. We reached forward, grabbing a bit. I looked at it. It seemed to be some kind of... It looked like brownish with some kind of texture that reminded me a bit of some of the grinded meat I used to see some of the boomies carry with them. But as I looked at it and actually managed to take a bite, I bit into it and it seemed to have an entirely different type of textures. It seemed to, even though it was a meat-like, had this strange, nice, nutty taste to it too. And I could taste some kind of chili ground into it as well. After eating stale bread for the past couple of days, it tasted delicious. Where'd you get this? Oh,
I got some off the ship before we left. Thank you, Hanze, for helping me navigate. No worries. It is delicious. Well, I think I like the soft, fresh breads when you're getting Paltrak when they're fresh. But when it comes to this now, I think I enjoy it better as a field ration. We sat a bit, enjoying a meal together. It had been a while. We did eat, but it was more in the bar environment where I'd eat some bad snacks or something along with a drink and often would just kind of hide myself away. I didn't want to really eat communally with anyone. Not with them, at the least. But after a bit of travel with these two, I guess it sort of just reminded me of home a little bit. But then the thought of home really started to hit me. I was leading these two right there, and I didn't really get their intentions too well. Hanze seemed like just a simple farmer, but he was still here on contract, and Mata was a soldier. I started to worry. So as I bit into this food, I sort of looked up and gazed at both of them and started deciding I needed to ask questions. For the sake of the town, Matatak, Dad, everyone back home. Oh, Hanze, you're here on a contract, right? Yeah. Again. Press ganged, really. Right. What about you, Mata? What are you doing all the way? You were from, you said you were from, I took another bite. I didn't quite know the name. It was Sag's Body or something like that. First time I've ever heard about it, but... Sakspati? Sakspati, yes. It is, well, you are familiar with being a, She measured the word for a second. Under the boot? Blue Bear? Oh, yeah, but it was different. We were ruled around by a terrible Lich. It was not a good time. He'd make us do all sorts of crazy stuff and mine in the deep areas of the mountain, and just in general, it was terrible. Well, you see, we're used to that with Paltrak, per se. So Paltrak is a colony from us. They like to spread themselves far and wide, you know? They like sticking their fingers in other people's pies, I suppose? Ah, that's right. Yeah, well, you see, Blue Bear, I'm a career soldier. You wanna know why? No, why? Well, you see, they like having us, Saxbati to be involved with Paltrak affairs. They like to call it, I think it's a token law? Yes. They want to make sure they get at least one of us in every regiment. I don't really get it too much, but they like to get us all mixed up with the regiments, not too much though. Mostly in fighting in their wars, you know? Oh. I sat on that a bit. That sounds kind of terrible. So you're conscripted too? In a manner of speaking, though, I did come out to choose this job myself. Oh, really? Can I ask why? I saw her lean back on a rock. I was curious. It seemed like we were all here somewhat against our will, but I had to wonder exactly what brought her to this company and to this option. It seemed like she had some kind of choices. She seemed to be a veteran of some kind. I had wondered if that had given her some type of authority. I was worried it might have resulted in her just coming out here because she thought we'd be easy prey. But as she leaned against the rock and stared above the leaves of the forest and the jungle, staring up high into the sky, watching the two suns that currently sat in the sky slowly drift off, causing the sky to grow ever so oranger and darker, she eventually did consider it. Blue Bay, you see, I'm after someone. A last report I had from a sister. This way. Oh, your sister? Yes. They said she was going the way of the mountain. This, Mount Vanus? Oh, I sighed.
Yeah, Mount Varnus, right.
I last heard from her there. Last letter I sent was when she was already arriving. Say, you wouldn't happen to have seen her, would you?
I sent my attention over. I noticed she stared at me with this more exacting expression as she looked at me. I felt a bit worried, but I did turn back. No, I haven't seen her. Trust me, if I had seen a boomy in the mountain, I would have let you know for sure. And they weren't in the party of people that attacked either. So I don't really know. I mean, we don't really have boomies at the mountain, per se. For the first time, I noticed a bit of a solemn expression cross her face as she stopped, looked directly across at me. But then, just like that, it was gone again.
Oh well. Suppose I won't know till I look myself, huh, Blueby?
Yeah, right. For the time, Hanze was sort of just biting into his food. He finished it the first of all of us. I'd wondered if he was listening intently or sort of just distracted the whole time, but he did look up finally.
Well, it seems we all have someone we might know at that mountain.
Huh? You know someone there?
Oh, well, I think someone from our community went on out there sometime in the past. So, I don't know, when I heard they were recruiting people going, I'm on 5th in line, I'm not getting the farm anytime soon, so thought I'd maybe come out, maybe see if I could find them. I bet they're in a load of trouble.
Oh, well, hey, if we get in quick, I'm sure the Galoins would be able to help, look for them.
Oh, right. Yeah.
There's a bit of a wall of silence there, reminding them that I had any sort of attachment to the village seemed to bid them go silent a little bit. I didn't know if this was a good thing or a bad thing for me. I know I didn't have time regardless. As the suns finally started to set and we had a rare night settle in above us, far from the shade shields that hang above the town back in Paltrak or the warmth of the mountain to keep me just shaded from it, we didn't have time. So I took a breath, night beginning to settle again. Okay, I think everyone's starting to go back to the camp now. So, if we gotta make a move, we gotta do it now, okay?
All right, Blueby, we'll lead the way.
I nodded and reached out and grabbed two of my hands up. Come on, link hands. Please don't pull too hard. I'm definitely not going to be able to actually hold on to any of you. It's more of a guidance thing, okay?
All right, Blueby, I won't pull you too hard.
With that, I linked hands with them and we slowly made our way forward, pressing our way into the jungle. As I hoped, with a little convincing, it could maybe cause everything to work out without bloodshed. I raised up another arrow in my hand today and tried to fire it. This time I was gripping the inverse of how I normally did when I was alive. The bone arm was fully outstretched as a kind of leverage point, grabbing onto the bow itself as I tried to use the muscles left in my other arm to fire another shot. Throughout the air, that arrow fired, and it clicked down not too far off from where my previous attempts had gone. I had gotten better, but it still wasn't enough to aim and hit a target. As I stared at the arrow sort of clicking down at the ground, I looked at my arm again and it felt weird. I was trying something new, but it didn't seem to change too much. Regardless of how I pulled on that bow, the string maintained itself and it seemed my arms were not capable. In one hand, if I held the bow with my good arm, I didn't have enough muscle strength to pull back on the string. In the other hand, my hand would be too wobbly trying to lock and hold the bow itself. So I got down on my knees and reached over and grabbed anything in my person. I tried to, in some way, change my position, move around, hold the bow with my feet at one point, just outstretched, pressing the boot back as I fired the string. That seemed to be alright after I got the hang of it. However, I doubt that would be a particularly useful fighting style in an actual fight, and the angle was off, and it was quite a lot on my mind. After what I had said and what I had heard, the archery practice was soul-cleansing in a way. It was nice to sit here, while they had all gone back to town, I was the Lich now. I had no idea how much irony there was to say something like that. So I fired one more arrow down into the pile of mushrooms beneath. I did eventually hear someone coming on up, the sound of small soft footprints stepping their way across up to the bridge again. As I turned around, I noticed Arcot had begun to move up again. I stopped, stood up, retrieved my bow and my boned arm, and just sort of watched her approach. Is anything wrong? Did anything happen?
Oh, no. I just want to see what you're up to.
Oh. Oh yeah, well, just practicing.
Yeah, practicing archery.
Of course.
You know, sometimes I forget that you're an archer like me.
Yes, I don't think I've been able to do it once since coming back.
Oh.
You can give it a shot, if you want to upstand me for a moment.
No, well, I guess I'm curious. Is archery something special to you, or?
Is it something special? I think the flute was something special to me. Archery's just what I learned, and has been keeping me alive for the past, hundreds of years.
I see. So it's just your best survival skill, and now it's just hard to use.
And I sort of shrugged. Yes, but, you? What about you? Is it something special to you?
Well, yeah, it's how I learned how to hunt really well. Then, after joining the Lich, it's how I survived, like you.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're still capable of doing it, and it's something that you're good at. I mean, I certainly haven't seen an archer this good in a long, long time. I don't think I've seen you miss once.
That's just because I'm the best Gawain that's an archer. Actually, it might be the best anything that's an archer.
Okay, yeah, sure. Well, I guess you beat me now, but you should have seen me about... Well, before. I was good at it, and I'd be able to keep a good shot, and you're very good at putting all your weight into your pull. It's a very strong bow that you use, and I know that, for me, I've always prided myself in my accuracy. I'm sure you'd be able to kill something bigger than me, but I'm sure I'd be able to get a double bullseye on you.
I'd love to have a contest between us, but... well...
Some things are just not to be, unless I figure it out again.
I turn towards the cavern wall where all the arrows are onto the ground. Melon, I've been thinking for a bit. You're one of the adventurers that killed the Lich, right?
I paused for a moment, curious where this line of questioning was going to take it. I'd managed to carefully avoid a conversation topic just moments ago, and as this started to come up, I felt a scratching in the back of my mind. But I did promise to not lie. So, carefully and cautiously, I responded, yes, I was.
I've been thinking for a bit, and I guess it was naivete on my part. You killed some of the Goloins on the way there, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
I just want to... I came here thinking I was gonna scream and yell at you and a lot of horrible things, but I can't even muster any anger at you, especially not after what you said earlier.
Which part?
How you felt like there was no future, how things were over. I'm angry, but I don't want to see you stop. I don't want to see you just give up and die.
I stopped, put down my bow, and sat for a moment. It brought me, honestly, a bit close to seeing eye to Arcot in this instance, as I just sort of sat for a moment. I wish it was something I could apologize for. I am sorry, but I know that's not going to help.
Yeah, well, I guess before then, we just couldn't see eye to eye. But now that we've worked together, I learned a lot more about Boomy society and how things work over there. If I was in my friend's shoes, I'm sure I would have tried to just kill you.
Yeah, I would have been in a similar space if I was in your shoes. I was in your shoes. I felt something bubbling up again. The moment since we walked out of that throne room, I had felt something fundamental inside of me break. I wasn't quite sure what it was, but even just dancing around this topic again had me feeling a very strange kind of way. I felt as though I was less stable, as if my entire body, mind, all in process was just slowly starting to react more violently, more emotionally, I suppose, around me. I didn't feel good. It was a reminder of what I had shielded myself from so long. As I turned to my new friend, I felt something, a question begin bubbling up again, something that I just wanted to ask, something I genuinely wanted to know. Arcot, what would you do if, you seem like you love your village, right?
Yeah, I'd basically do anything to protect it.
What would you do if you were to wake up one morning and it was all gone? Do you think you'd keep going?
Well, that's a really tough question. I think, well, it's something Yayo said to me a long time ago. The village is not the place, it's the people. If Yayo's still there, and Gartrinus, and Reggae, and all my other friends,
If they weren't?
if they weren't, I don't know how I'd keep moving. If not for the village, then I suppose I'd try and live for myself and carry what's left of it with me.
You could do that? Earnestly?
It's what my ancestors did. They lost their home and moved here. They made the whole community. I don't have any attachments to whatever snowy place they came from was, or how beautiful it was, or what the monuments were. But I know the mountain and all the great things we have here.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure about, you said you're not a Boomin, you're something that lives a lot longer than them.
Yes.
Well, that just gives you more time to rebuild and make something new.
I might not have that time anymore. But you are really a sturdy person, I suppose. It's admirable, really. I do appreciate you, Arcot. I'm glad that even if you're mad at me, you don't hate me.
I appreciate you too. And don't count yourself out. You're pretty sturdy. You're still standing here, aren't you?
Guess so. Arcot, do you think there's any real chance I'd be able to stay here?
stay here with the Gloins. I'm actually sure we can somehow convince our elder to let you stay.
See, that's very kind. Because when I think about the people that killed my friends, my family, even hundreds of years later, I'm still furious. If you're saying the Galoins would accept that, I just don't know if I can believe it. I think you're special. I don't know if anyone else is going to give a chance, and I just don't see it. But I promise I'm not going to let that get away of me doing what I can while I am here. I do think you view as my friend now, Arcot. I do want to stay and help as much as I can, but it just doesn't feel like the place to be. At the least, though, I felt myself mumbling a bit as I sort of pulled myself back. At the very least, though, we'll shoot those damn dolls. Wherever they're hiding.
Yeah. We're gonna get those bastards.
Right.
And for what it's worth, us Galoins, we... this might sound bad, but we have a habit of making alliances with... or making shaky alliances with people who would quickly stab us in the back.
Yeah. Well, I've always thought that was just a rumor. I guess I'm lucky it's a little bit truth in that one. So, right. Well, thank you for coming out. You know, usually you're able to see a bit of the sun peeking out from the edge of this crack in the mountain, but I think it's actually a rare night for once.
Rare night?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Do you not? Go up, huh? Oh, I guess that would make sense. If you spend most of your time in the mountain, it wouldn't really be something to fully consider. Well, if you travel around the world, you'll... Tell me, Arcot, do you think the sun is the same one that comes around every day?
I think so. I haven't made a habit of looking at it all the time.
What if I were to tell you that every sun that goes through the sky you'll never see again for the rest of your life?
Wait, really? That's actually pretty cool.
It is. Every morning's a new sun. And sometimes you're blessed with multiple suns, if it gets a little hot, though. But every once in a while, it's nice to have a night every now and again. A couple of hours, maybe even a day with no sun. Gives you time to think. Maybe if we just think about it like that. A new sun. As long as you live another day, you'll see another one. And if you live a long time, you'll get to see so many. And maybe there's just something nice about that.
It never stays in the same spot. I think you'll be able to find a home.
Right. Thank you. And whatever you do, just... if you'll take my advice, don't let them take yours. Even if it's just a place, even if everyone gets to live. Even this pile of rocks is worth far more than you could ever imagine.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm doing everything I can to make sure no one takes this home.
It's good.
Word on the street is the Lich has come back.
Yes, I'm sure my great necromantic power will be able to stop any attack. I heard I can really mess up one Yayo.
I really hope that future plans don't involve maiming
I hope
Yayo
not.
more.
I hope she's doing okay. Keep an eye on her. If we're as alike as I think we are, I think there's a tendency to, get very invested in whatever you're doing next. And
Oh, you're telling me she snuck out?
oh no, I'm just saying, just don't let her get hurt. I think as long as you can do that, I think she might come up with some great big plan to save everyone.
Yeah, that's why I follow her.
As we sat, I ended up grabbing the bow again. Hey, Arcot,
Yeah?
do you want to see this dumb trick I figured out how to do with a bow?
Oh, sure.
I reached out and pressed my boot against the edge of the bow, sort of pushing it up to the edge of the rock, and then wheel back with both hands on these singular string and arrow. And I began to show Arcot the stupidest archery I've ever practiced in my life.
They say it's been too long. It's so nice to see you. You're a good friend of mine. So long farewell, adieu. No, I can't believe, oh no, not words from thee, but said in facsimile, yearning for that distant we. So I'm searching for near eternity, but I don't know where I should be. Love of branch, no family tree, no friends I have to see. An unfriendly propensity is my natural state to take flight in perpetuity. And so echo back is only me, cut off from precious we.